Months of recrimination and cyber attacks against the US by North Korea seems to have been completely ineffective. We've heard rumors that it was going to happen, and now it looks like 18,000 copies of the film starring Seth Rogen and James Franco, The Interview, about a plot to kill the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, have made their way across the border and into the Hermit Kingdom. Lee Min-bok, a defector, now living in the South, is the one responsible for sending the copies of the film, along with political leaflets and even dollar bills, all wrapped up and tied to balloons. Lee Min-bok doubts anyone in North Korea will even find the movie funny, but he certainly didn't. He says that's not even important, Jose. To him, what's important is the way the film portrays their leader as a guy who laughs, cries, spoiler alert, eventually gets shot and killed, not shot, but assassinated. So he's kind of trying to change the way people think in North Korea. And it's really interesting. You know, he said it himself. The movie's not good. I didn't like it. He found it kind of offensive, but he said it's important for people to see this. What do you think?
I think that he's responding to a trend that we already see in North Korea, that we've talked about here in the Leap. We've talked about how there's an opening from within, where we see in the search of these DVD players where they can actually smuggle into the country and watch some South Korean soap operas, or they can watch DVDs or use memory cards. They're smuggling USB thumb drives with content. Also in response to this very close internet that is not connected to the rest of the world. It's an intranet that the government controls. And so we're seeing that there is an awakening of the North Korean population to say, well, maybe I need to open up my ears and eyes to other things, even though that I have to, break some rules to do it so.
Which is kind of sad in the first place that they have to do these things. But, what are you going to do? The balloons infuriate the government. They shoot them down. Sometimes the South even fires back, which is ridiculous that little things like this cause fire to go, armed conflict. But we're used to that now. We see it all the time. Seoul can't really stop the activists. It's freedom of speech. They're just doing what they're doing. So it's not against the law at all. But, guys like him, Lee Bok, they really, some could even argue that he's risking his life to do these types of things. And we have a quote from him. This is what he said about all this, because ultimately his goal here is to see peace. He's not trying to piss anybody off. He's not trying to, gain any personal satisfaction from this. He wants reunification. He is from the North. Here's what he had to say, Jose. He said, "We can help towards reunification with these balloons. It costs millions of dollars to buy an F-22 fighter jet, which the South Korean government insists they need, and that's not for peaceful purposes. So why do civilians like me have to do this under the cover of darkness?" He has to do it in the cover of darkness. He goes at night when there's no one around, for the very reason that there's a lot of people who live near the border in the South who hate these activists and don't want them to do these things because they fear, living near the border, that if something does happen, they're the ones that are going to be in danger. They're the ones that might be put in the line of fire. So a lot of people try to stop him. For that reason, he goes at night, he does it, and he's gone. No one ever knew he did it. He gets away with it.
Yeah, but he does get escorted by the police and the army, which gives some credit to North Korea point of view that says, well, that is kind of like a state endorsement of the action of disturbing the establishment of North Korea, which that disruption needs to be made, because obviously we know about the abuse and the restrictions that happen to the North Korean population.
Well, we want to know what you guys have to say about all of this. Do things like movies, music, South Korean soap operas being sent into North Korea, do you think that really threatens the regime as a whole, considering they're trying to press, and the more that people get opened up about the outside world, they probably realize more and more that they're actually being oppressed? So do you think little things like this actually make a difference? Let us know in the comments below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Lip TV for more.